Al Ewing and Bob Quinn bring back the original Cable as Rocket Raccoon requests his specific talents to acquire a weapon that will help them win the war against Dormammu, but Cable and the X-Terminators will need to fight an entire planet to get the weapon. Al Ewing continues the last Annihilation with a little side quest here, following on from Rocket's comments about wanting to shoot Dormammu with a big gun in the last Guardians book, and showing that he was indeed telling the truth about said big gun. I like that the older Cable is back, following on from the recent Cable solo series really well, with the older version now trying to sort of catch up on what's been going on and adjusting life to being back alive and being older and more experienced. His mission here was a really simple one as well: steal some weapons, and the Exterminator team he brings along with him were great. Everyone on the team actually served a purpose and had a role to play in this mission and had time to shine, which was a lot of fun to see unfold. I'm looking forward to seeing their big gun in action, however, especially since it's implied that the ammunition that it uses is made out of all of S.W.O.R.D's Mysterium, so there's a bigger problem for the mutants there to deal with now that their special metal is all but gone. Bob Quinn draws the action-packed issue that does a great job balancing out the classic 90s Cable with a more modern interpretation of him, finding a nice balance where he's not some huge hulking mass of pouches and not some really small, heavily armored guy where the armor's a bit bigger than him. His action was great, and I loved every member of the team getting a page to shine on. Cable Reloaded issue 1 was a great return to form for Cable, as well as a fun action-packed side quest for Last Annihilation, which has some pretty big consequences for the overall plot, as well as several mutant-related plots happening in S.W.O.R.D and X-Men, thanks to those teams getting involved in this. I'm going to give this issue an 8.5 out of 10. Cable Reloaded issue 1 heads into deep space, where Cable knows it's 2021 and he's been away for a while thanks to being killed. He knows someone else is due for a wake-up call, and the Grey Malkin 2 is the alarm clock. He knows between the stealth cloak and the body slide translocation tech, the ship can get sneaky on approach, but even getting this close to this planet, the residents will spot her and destroy her, since they really like breaking things, hence why the world is called Break World. Cable likes to break things as well, as he seals the airlock, told by his holo tattoo that the arm shield wasn't tested for this. Cable ignores her since it was designed to withstand heavy combat, but the hologram says it was heavy combat with tank drones, not fighting a planet. Cable says he's not fighting one, he's about to beat one as he is shot out of the airlock, knowing the airlock sounded like one of his pouches snapping open. He ponders the age-old question, what does he keep in his pouch? And the answer is simple: bullets. Shielding himself with his arm, Cable rockets down to the planet, thinking about this like a halo jump but without the low open portion of it. He decides to call it the Ha-Ha instead, the high altitude hard acceleration. He knows in 30 seconds he'll see if his shield works or not, but until then all he can do is think about the briefing. An hour before, Cable is briefed by Abigail Brand about Dormammu and his mindless ones, which are attacking 5 magically significant planets around the galaxy, and now S.W.O.R.D is fighting to prevent this from happening as part of a new galactic united front. Cable knows that Brand is still figuring out how she feels about the old new him, since Kid Cable was a political appointee to keep the influential Summers family happy, and now thanks to his decades of combat experience, he's finally the security chief she needs. Cable asks if there's a plan, and she says there is indeed, but it's not her plan, so he'll be working close with someone else. That someone turns out to be Rocket Raccoon, who introduces himself, knowing that he does look like a raccoon like from Earth, wanting Cable to get it all out of his system. Cable says that it'll be an honor as he is shown the plan. Brand says that Dormammu has possessed Ego the Living Planet, and that's his anchor point in this dimension. Rocket knows that no ship can get close thanks to the mindless ones, as Cable knows Rocket is a galactic folk hero and is remembered like Alexander the Great crossed with Jesse James, and he's a legend. Rocket says that they won't be fighting fair and they're going to cheat, and that's where Cable comes in. Cable knows though that legends lie and there isn't anything stopping him from dying as he enters the planet's atmosphere, his arm malfunctioning and causing him to burn out and slam hard into the ground. Cable however survives the drop, getting out of the impact crater and ejecting his destroyed arm, activating the hard light holo prosthetic and booting up the Nikki the combat tattoo as well. Nikki is happy to see Nathaniel again, asking if they're going to see some excitement, and Cable knows that the mutants get a second chance but missions don't, and he now has backup, and no matter what happens, he's always been heavily armed. Cable knows the entrance was noisy, but Nikki says auto-targeting has his back as Cable retrieves a Krakoan seed from his pouch, planting it and growing a Krakoan gateway on the world so backup can come. Cannonball, Boom Boom, WizKid, Cora of the Burning Heart, and Lila Cheney arrive, each having an integral role in Cable's team. Something he tells Lila, who wonders why she's there and her teleportation powers are there if the gateway is going to be used. Soon the Breakworders arrive, demanding the alien invaders surrender themselves or fight and die in the arenas of Power Lord Varn. Cora is happy to see the world has warriors, throwing her blade and killing the commander. Cable demands that she wait for his signal next time, since the surprise attack works better if they are the ones not getting surprised. Cable tells Nikki to set up non-lethal ammo since they need the skimmers the Breakworders have intact. Cannonball sweeps the aliens from the transport as Cable blasts them with his stun shots. Boom Boom takes down one lot of groups as they approach WizKid, saying that it's his time to die. WizKid knows that he won't be dying on any mission since the new hotness is ripe old age and very big guns. He activates his chair's huge guns, blasting the villains, but the transports are destroyed. Cable knows that they needed them intact, but Taki gets to work, using his tech powers to tap into the tech and fix them. The team mount up and head into town, finding the huge metropolis is completely empty, wondering if it was because of all of the blasting they've been doing. Lila says Sam was always a little loud, making the man blush, but Boom Boom reminds her that he's married now and has a wife. Lila asks about Izzy and how she's going, so Sam says that he's a mutant and Izzy is a super guardian and they're raising their kid in Shi'ar space, so it gets complicated. Sam knows that it's nice to have an old X-Force adventure, but he doesn't want to relive the old days since the past is written and he's got to live with it, but the future is something else and something possible, and he knows he would rather be growing up. Cable thinks about how the future he knows didn't have much possibility, but he's always fought for a better tomorrow. He tells everyone to stay sharp since they're arousing suspicion using the skimmers getting this close to their target. Cora knows that this is ambush territory and this city isn't for people to live in, it's a weapon and a trap. Cable knows she's right since this is a fully automated factory and a self-evolving machine, which houses weapons they are there to steal. WizKid isn't too happy about being briefed on the mission now, as Cable says that they can't give up what they don't know under torture. The city around them begins transforming as Cable says that Mark 1 was as big as a moon, but this is Mark 2 and it's much more compact. The city transforms into a giant robot as WizKid says that he's not dying for the glory of Krakoa, but Cable knows they all have a job to do and they are all going to get home alive. The robot begins firing rockets at the team, who barely manage to destroy the incoming barrage as Cable tells Cora that she's up. The woman unleashes her power, saying that she refuses any help, but WizKid knows that she'll grow out of it. Cora jumps over to Boom Boom's skimmer as Cable tells the mutant to light a 15-second fuse as Cora touches her, sharing her power and giving Boom Boom a boost. Boom Boom makes a huge bomb, handing it off to Sam so he can blast it up towards the robot. Sam slams into the robot's face, exploding the bomb on impact and blowing its head off. The team think he is dead, but Cannonball makes his dashing return as Cable knows that they need to do their jobs now. The team race up towards the destroyed robot, getting inside its innards as Cora doesn't want to go with WizKid since his power levels are more than capable of doing this. Taki says if it makes her feel better, he doesn't need her since he could easily find the access terminal himself and in 2 minutes find the exact subroutines they need to put them in control. He knows he could do that, or with a boost from Cora, he could have it done in 2 seconds. So the woman does so as Taki says that she's on a team, and teamwork makes the dream work. The robot transforms into a planet-sized supergun as Lila's time to shine is there. Cable asks if she needs a boost from Cora, but Lila knows that this is too easy, teleporting the ship and the team back to Port Prometheus. Cable congratulates the team as well as Nikki, knowing that he should use the tattoos more often. Cable knows that he is proud of the team since days like this, the future seems bright. He contacts Abigail Brand, telling her the X-Terminators have done their part, now it's her turn. Brand says that it took almost all of their remaining Mysterium, but with Rocket's help, the engineering went well, and while Cable brought them the gun, they have made the bullet for it. A bullet which will be fired right at Dormammu's head.